gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you that have properties to sell or looking for property to buy, you can also contact me. If you lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash, you have an agreement stating that they borrowed the money from you and they're willing to pay back your money in so much and so much at time with X amount of interest or whatever the case, as long as you have an agreement with them, feel free to contact Real Talk Debt Collection Department. You can contact us at 339-1670 or 238-6716 from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is our office opening hours of business from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So those of you who have been calling from 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock and not getting through, we do apologize for that. We open from 10 a.m. So viewers, I want to say a special good night to you. Viewers that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, like and share. Now, our page keep you up to date of incidents that happen during the course of the day. So it's one way in the social media, and then we are here live on Synergy TV from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. Our rerun will start back soon. Hopefully we might get a rerun from Tuesdays and Thursday because of the virtual meeting that the media briefing on mornings. But nevertheless, I want to thank you, the viewers, for making us #1, the only current affairs program in Trinidad that gave you the opportunity to call in. Remember, our phone lines are 238-6716 is our live studio call-in line from 7 to 8 p.m. Call in, voice your concerns, your complaints. I often say, whether the councillors or the MPs or the police or the civilians in the area, bandits, drugs, robbers, you name it, feel free to call in and highlight the situation in your area. Hence the reason why Real Talk was birthed, for this purpose, to give you, the citizen, a platform to call in and voice your concern. Now I'm going to tell you something, viewers. It's only when you highlight something and it goes to a vast amount of people, it's only then somebody will hear it and they will take actions. And people who are listening to Real Talk, the viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, are from the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. And from the lower class, voicing a concern through Real Talk, where all of Trinidad and Tobago could hear it, someone from the upper class, sometimes they listen to the plea and they come down to the ground. So there are good people out there still, even though there's a lot of rape and killing and robberies and things taking place, there are good people in Trinidad and Tobago still. So my viewers of the Caribbean, I want to say a special good night to you. And now viewers, now remember, tomorrow's a holiday, so we cannot take it down tonight, you know. I want to talk about the Rape Crisis Center that we are building. I know it is a go. It officially launched Monday. So I want you all to contribute. Now, from Monday next week, there are a lot of offers that I will be bringing out. A lot of different offers. Some of it is that you could win an all-inclusive weekend to Tobago for your husband and wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend. You know, we have appliances to give out. We even have gold chains, your neck chain to get out the earring and handband. We have a lot of things. But viewers, the main thing about this is raising funds. We need to raise $10 million in order to build this center, the Rape Crisis Center. It will be the only one in Trinidad and Tobago and the only Rape Crisis Center in the Caribbean. Call good night.
Yeah, hello, good night.
Right ahead. Yes, sir.
I would like to find out about where the teachers and the students are coming out in July and August for the SCA exam, and certain people are hiring teachers. It looks like tutor have nothing to do about this because the Ministry of Education have all the say on this.
It seems
because
so.
people are calling the the tutor and they're not getting through.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we want to build a center. Like I said, there is no home or there is no place where a rape victim could go and feel wanted again. We will reintegrate them into society. Bring them back up. The loneliness, the sadness, the break in their spirit, in their moral values, the break in that, we would help them come back up. So like I said, this will be the only one in Trinidad and Tobago and the only one in the Caribbean. Just imagine, the only building like this type of building in the Caribbean. Now you are going to hear me stressing about it, because we do not have anything like this in Trinidad or the Caribbean. So what you are seeing on screen on your television set is where the land is located. It is in Palmas in San Fernando. It's close to Block 2. That's where the land is. On top of that, there's a car to be won. Like I said, now people would say, Saeed, you are a Muslim and you are engaging in gambling and raffles and things. No, it's not a gamble. I would not do something to taint my character. I am not engaging in any gambling or in a raffle. We are raising funds. You are contributing $1,500 towards this drive. Right? We need to raise $10 million. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes, neither herbs. And I wouldn't go down the gambling road. You know? I wouldn't go down the gambling road. I would not encourage you to gamble. This is not about gambling. This is about, you know what? Saeed have a plan. And what he is doing, we don't have one of that in Trinidad. And I will contribute $1,500 towards that. Now, in contributing, you get the opportunity to be the owner of a Kia Cerato. Guys, the video? A Kia Cerato. Now, this is one of many vehicles that will be given out. It's one of many. It's fully loaded, it's fully powered. You have rims, fog lamps, power window, power steering, air condition, reverse sensors, camera front and back. It's fully powered. Cruise control, the full works. So you could be a winner of this. Like I said, this is one of many cars that will be given out. So from next week now, I am creating packages. Different packages, different price, different contribution factors. So we're giving back to you, the public. It's not like, you know, you're planting your seed or you're contributing and you're not getting, we're giving. So from next week, well, not next week, hopefully from Friday, I will have a list of things that will be given out as prizes, as contribution. You contribute to us and we contributing back to you. It's all about raising $10 million to build this center. To build this center. And people have started contributing. Females have started contributing. Because they understand what it is all about. They understand the idea, they understand the logic behind it. They understand what is the worth of this center in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am being commended for coming up with such a creative plan for the females in Trinidad and Tobago by many in society. Many in society. So, this is what we're doing. I want to do this, but I need your help. I need your help in order to make it a reality, in order to make it a success. You know, we had one or two callers like, Saeed, how are you going to maintain that? I never tell you about maintenance. I never tell you about maintenance. I wouldn't spend $10 million to build a structure and close it down. Like I said, this have no politics. It have no politics in this. Yes, it would be run by Saeed. You know, anything running by me, it's very straight. It's very, very straight. It ain't nothing going on the carpet there. That you all know. So the females, the lower class, the upper class, the middle class, feel free to contribute. Feel free to contribute. Now, if you wanted to contribute or donate more than the 1,500 is welcome. It is welcome. I won't turn you back, right? But the main idea is to raise the $10 million to have the center. To have the center. And I know there are many females who are prominent businesswomen. They hold positions and they were molested. And they had to deal with it all by themselves. All by themselves. Young girls who are being raped, you shatter their dreams. You shatter their dreams. Yes, we have a special victim unit, but you will go into them, they will counsel you, and you go back home and you're lonely again. Because when every individual from the house, they go to work, some go to school, that's it. You're home there. So we are creating this building where you can come in and spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and we would help you get it over. We will help you keep the ball rolling again. There will be professionals in the fields of psychologists, doctors. So viewers, I need you to support this drive. If you're from outside Trinidad and you want to contribute, call me. Call my cell phone, 3391670. Saeed, we're from Barbados, we're from Grenada. You know, we want to contribute. You never know. You never know if outsiders will be coming into Trinidad just to be in the center. So viewers, feel free to contribute. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
I have 2 points. Yeah. First point is crime has remained the same. Robberies, larceny, breaking in, killing, all these sort of things remain on the same level high.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you take a politician and make him a commissioner. It's only talk and media briefing.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. So I've heard now the guy apologized. The guy who took the policeman hat off his head in the protest, he apologized. But hear this thing now. According to media, according to reports now, circulating, I am bipolar. Just imagine that. That's the protest from thing. The guy said, I am bipolar. I also heard that the protest and the racism thing, it is strip him off. So Jesse, I just want to say something here now, right? So what about now? In this protest, while this protest is going on, this bipolar individual trip off and start to beat up somebody there. Or find a bottle or something and break it and stab somebody now. What going on happen there? I want to hear from you. What going on happen? You the viewers, you tell me. And then I saw some comments circulating on social media. Well, boy, I was like, wow. I was like, wow. Let me tell you something. You know how people just learn? When you set an example. When you set an example. Like I said yesterday, Trinidad and Tobago, we are not the public, they said they break the COVID-19 public health gathering, the regulations, right? So now the commissioner will get vexed with me, you know. But nevertheless, I do applaud him in times. You know, Trinidad and Tobago, we are now COVID-19 policy. But you gave the authorization for a protest. That is what you did. Just imagine that. Individuals insulted an officer. How come you're not standing for the officers? How come you're not standing for the officers? I heard some reports that the officers not supposed to be there. Well, that is a public place. You know what is private? Private place is inside your property. As long as you have a business running, it becomes a private, a public place. I was listening to a radio program this morning, and a guy was doing an interview. He said the officer's not supposed to be recording them. You are in a public place. Officers have all rights to record. Now, during that protest, there was a lot of people who were out with their camera phones, and it's obvious they would be going live. So how do you combat that now? What are you telling these individuals now? That they shouldn't go live, they shouldn't record it? But yet you in a savannah. But when the police go on a raid, they'll quick to record them. When they turn around now, the policeman wrong. How could that be? Call a good night. So as we start on the program tonight, SEA exam will be held on Thursday, 20th of August, 2020. This was announced by the Education Minister at this afternoon COVID-19 conference. Classes for students writing the exam will resume on Monday, July 20th, 2020. Teachers will be offered a stipend at their resumption comes during their vacation.
After careful consideration and deliberation, it was decided that the SEA examination, secondary entrance examination, will be held on Thursday, the 20th of August, 2020.
2 police officers have appeared in court charged with conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. The officers was allegedly committed on November 8, 2019. Sergeant Gokul was last attached to the Central Division and has 25 years of service, while Saieed Ali was last attached to the Northern Division and with 19 years service. They both appeared virtually before Magistrate Rajendra Rambachan on Tuesday and were each granted $100,000 bail. The matter was postponed to July 6th. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
I'm agreeing with what you say, but I also noticed on the video that there was a prominent leader.
Yes.
And he was also inciting
Yes.
disrespect to the police officers.
Yes.
And I also know that he was one of the people who was very disappointed that he wasn't pulled into a particular party. So, I mean, if we want leaders in our country, we have to really think about the people we want representing us.
Thank you.
I mean, to me, black lives are important, but all lives matter.
All lives.
All lives matter.
You see, I got to tell you something. All the killing and the murder and the raping that took place, nobody protested. Nobody. Salary relief grant, how many people protest for that? Rental assistance, how many people protested for that? Nobody. People were put out of their apartments. Family were left hungry. The parents of school feeding programs, they were complaining also. They didn't get the food cards that was supposed to be provided for their school child. Nobody protested. You see, we in Trinidad here, those in authority, you see, when you break the law, there is a price. There is a penalty. In China, if you're a senator or a minister and they catch you in fraud, they're dealing with you. They will deal with you. Anything they catch you in, they're dealing with you. In Trinidad, if it's a businessman and you do something, sometimes you might get away. Because Tom know Harry, Harry know John, John know a magistrate. John know a judge. John know somebody in authority to sweep it under the carpet. That is why we will remain third world and we can't go second world. Because we're always under the line. Under the carpet. You see, when I come out here, on my platform, on my show, the truth will always prevail, you know. Always. So we need this hat, this man who pulled off the hat. That's an assault a police officer. The lady, young girl who walking up to the officer and the officer had to walk back. You preventing the officer from carrying out his duty. He in uniform, he working. You protesting for what? For what you protesting? For the murder of a U.S. citizen in his country? So much murders. This take place right in Trinidad. No protests. So much killing taking place right here in Trinidad. Many gunning down. No protest. If all are vexed, all should be charged. All should be charged. You see, we just take it too light. We taking it too light. Everything is a smile. They go through that, man. Everything is a green teeth. You see, if you have proper leaders in our country, citizens will be well-mannered. I was telling some lawyers, some prominent lawyers, I tell them, I say, hey, if we had laws what the Middle East have in Trinidad, let me tell you something, Trinidadian get straight like a needle, you know. We too wayward, we too backward. Imagine, you failing to report assault on your daughter, sexually assault by your command law. You fail to make a report and magistrate charge you 500. 500. How you expect? How you expect law and order to take place when things like that happen? When a man get bail for gun in front of a magistrate or a judge, we hear the commissioner making noise. You're making noise, media briefing. Oh, that's why it have killing. No wonder why it have so much a gun, because when they hear the police do their work and they catch them and they go in front of a magistrate or a judge, 5,000, 10,000 and they're out on the streets. They say sometimes we own whip this cut with tail. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
I am the end of the September election. And in Santa Cruz, 4 years, 9 months, they have 60 road now elected. Sometimes they fix in the road. Pitching the road. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, my dear. National Security Minister Stuart Young says government is continuing its move to bring our nationals home. He said everyone would be allowed to return to this country. The minister was speaking at today's media conference.
All of our nationals will return, and we are very sympathetic and have a lot of empathy for all of our nationals who are outside of Trinidad and Tobago who wish to return. As we've said repeatedly, there are over 330,000 nationals outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And at the Ministry of National Security, we have literally been receiving thousands of requests.
The minister insists that it would be done on a controlled base.
What we're doing is we're balancing really a few things. First of all, we took a policy decision as a government to state quarantine all persons returning. You've heard from the Minister of Health, the Chief Medical Officer, and other medical personnel over the last few days and weeks how we're doing with the COVID management in Trinidad.
Now, viewers, United Nations Ambassador to this country, Penelope Beckles, has been granted an exemption to return home. This was confirmed by National Security Minister Stuart Young. He said Mrs. Beckles will be returning in a few days' time, including the nationals expected to return to TNT over the coming weeks are UE students, rig workers, and persons who were stuck in Guyana, Venezuela, Caracas, as well as on cruise ships. Meanwhile, Young says persons has been granted for several TNT farmers to travel to Canada for employment. Recently, there was a talk that have been circulating that the farmers who go on the apple on the farm project in Canada, they were not being granted permission to leave. Some of them were complaining that this is their livelihood. They have done it for X amount of years, and if they don't go back, the farmers will take somebody else. But there are restrictions in other countries as well. So the minister is granting permission to several TNT farmers to go back to Canada and work. Now listen this. They will grant you permission to leave. But if Canada say, if their ministers say that they're not taking any outsiders or the borders are closed, even though we grant you permission here, you will still not be able to enter Canada, because their borders are closed. However, he notes that coronavirus have been recorded at farms in that country and says the workers will have to sign an immediate letter. One of the country's citizens who was denied entry to this country since the closure of the border on March 22nd have threatened to take the Minister of National Security to court. Wow. The threat came in the form of a pre-action protocol letter issued on Monday by his attorney representing the 50-year-old Lorenzo. He is currently stranded in Barbados, having first left this country for Brazil on March 14th. Since then, Mr. Lorenzo has written to the National Security Minister seeking an exemption to return home to Trinidad and Tobago. He has been in quarantine and tested negative for COVID-19 virus. To date, all his requests have been denied. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mrs.
Go right ahead.
You're doing a very, very great job.
Thank you, my dear.
I just wanted to say that that lady who was walking to the policeman's face, she should be charged.
Yes.
She should be charged because she was really, really getting on very bad.
You see, you're preventing an officer from carrying out their duties.
Yes.
And that is a law in Trinidad, according to the Commissioner of Police. Any individual who obstruct an officer from carrying out their duties will be charged. So where's the charges? What are you saying? You say this going to happen. We see it happen on camera. It's all over the news. It's in the printed press. It's on social media. It's making headlines. So where's the charges? You see, you can't want to say, or you can't say, you know, we're going to charge this and we're going to do that. And when something happens, we have no result. Nothing. Nothing came out of it. By really studying this bipolar man, next thing this man trip off. What bacchanal could have happened? Well, boy. An investigation has been launched into the cap snatching incident involving a protester and a police officer at the Queen's Park Savannah this week. On Monday, the officer was filming the demonstration in support of the Black Lives Matter movement when he was confronted by protesters who demanded that he stop filming. I am still baffled. Why did the Commissioner of Police grant a protest? Why? When we have a COVID-19 policy in effect. And the Commissioner come out and said, where they breach the public, oh God, I forgot, public, I remember it. Where's the charges? During the tense face-off, one of the protesters grabbed the cap off his head. A formal report has been made by the officer who is attached to the Municipal Police Department. An investigator has been appointed and will now conduct an inquiries. Yesterday, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith referred to the incident as an assault on the police officer. You know that they say they want evidence. When you go to court, you want evidence. Here we have video evidence. Video evidence. Well, if the individual say he bipolar, I'll charge the bipolar man. Because he are bipolar, you gotta say sorry and walk down the road? No, set an example. Set an example. So if I walk down the road and I stab a man, and I say he end up in hospital, and I say I have bipolar, what I get well come out of card free then. Me are going to jail because I bipolar. So I stab up the man there. His family wants to kill me. I get free out of card jail. That's how I see it, you know. That is how I see it. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm just asking a question here. The cards that they are giving out, is people only from 1,500 and up qualified? Thank you, good night.
Thank you, my friend. Listen this, Feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say. We're just taking it down tonight. It's not a Fire Friday otherwise. It was a Fire Friday. Let me tell you something. If it was a Fire Friday, I would have been hitting the commissioner for 6 right through. But I decided, take it down tonight. Tomorrow is a holiday, So hear this, Let me hear what all you would do. But don't use vulgar language. In Trinidad, it seems like rape and molestation of underage girls, like it escalating. Listen this. 44-year-old Tobago landscaper have been charged with touching a 15-year-old girl. The victim was on her way to class on January 16th when the suspect walked behind her and touched her buttocks. 44-year-old. I am very sure and I am certain that in Tobago, there are women over the age of 18. I am very certain about that. He has been charged with 1 count of sexual touching of a minor. Also in Tobago, a 19-year-old man is accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl on 2 occasions. He has been charged with 2 counts of sexual penetration of a minor and 1 count of sexual touching. This looks like a joke now? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
This thing with the lives matter. I wonder why the people don't protest. The white people don't protest, but and the Japanese people don't protest when they killed that woman, the Japanese woman in the savannah for
Thank
carnival
you.
there.
Thank you.
What about the the black man, Sir Jackson, molested those 2 young boys, white boys. What about Bill Cosby when he drugged those women and raped them, white women? When O.J. Simpson killed his wife and a friend? Why don't the people protest about that?
Thank you. So much I think to protest for in Trinidad. We ain't protesting for that. So much of incidents happening right in Trinidad to protest for. We are doing that. We are doing that. Now let me tell you something. I am not against the protest, you know. I am not against it, you know. But you see, when coming to assaulting officers who carrying out a duty, that is a different thing. And I expected the Commissioner of Police to stand for his officers. And if the man says he bipolar, charge him. Set an example for other bipolars in Trinidad. And the woman who confronting the officer and walking up, I go lie at. And I walking up. Charge she for obstructing the officer. Start setting an example. And let me tell you something. Once you start setting an example, people will get in line. Like I said, I have nothing against the protest, you know. I have nothing against it. Nothing against it. You have the right to protest. You have the right to stand up. But it's how you're doing it. It's how you're doing it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali. How are you?
I'm okay.
We are ardent listener to your program. You are the most beautiful person. I like to see how you move and shake. You make us laugh.
Thank you, my dear.
Nice. What I called to tell you is you must do a piece on HTC.
Hello?
HTC, National Housing Authority. HTC. You must do a piece on HTC.
Not a problem.
Could you take my message off air?
Not a problem. Contact me at 3391670 after the show and we'll talk. If you don't get me, my staff member, one of my staff will just take your number and probably we can talk tomorrow. Thank you for calling, my dear. You see, viewers, in order for we to move forward in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to forget the past. You have to forget the past. You want to protest? Not a problem. The commissioner, he gave all you many chances. Many chances he gave all you, but you choose to assault the officer. You choose to confront the officer. And there was an individual there who is known. Who is known. You're supposed to be setting an example, but you didn't. I was hearing some news this afternoon concerning him. Tomorrow I'll verify it and see if it's true. But nevertheless, you see, we can't be citizens of Trinidad and Tobago wanting to get results in matters and going about it the wrong way. We can't do that. We can't do that. Now, listen to this. We have about 10 minutes left on our show. Listen to this. We have a police station in communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago. But yet, there are drug blocks running. We have police stations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, but yet, we have drug blocks running. How is that? How is that? We have intelligence unit in Trinidad and Tobago through TTPS. And we have kingpins in Trinidad who owns drug dens. How is that? We have a human trafficking department in Trinidad and Tobago in TGPS. But yet, there are many brothels in Trinidad and Tobago, or we would say hotels, where we have non-Trinidadians, nationals working, and when you go to them, they have no passport. When the Minister of National Security granted the approvals for Venezuelans to register, all those lines that we were seeing, and all the Venezuelans that did not get the opportunity to register, where did the rest go? Where did the rest go? We never heard in Trinidad and Tobago that 5,000 Venezuelans were posted back because they were non-nationals of Trinidad. And they came in through our border and not the port. How is that? How is that? So if we have police stations throughout Trinidad and Tobago and there's a drug block running in the community, how come that drug then ain't closed down as yet? Think about it. We have the Minister of National Security, the Ministry of National Security, we have the commissioners, we have security councils, we have inspectors, we have superintendents, we have corporals, we have sergeants. We have main stations, we have substations, we have police posts, but yet in Trinidad and Tobago, the drug block continues to run. How is that? We have a police show in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a crime show in Trinidad and Tobago, but yet we have guns on the streets, yet we have cocaine selling on blocks, we have marijuana selling on blocks. How is that? I am asking you, the citizens, how is that? But we want first world laws in Trinidad and Tobago. We are assaulting officers, not because of the protests take place, but when officers go on raids, we are assaulting them. We're preventing them. Start setting examples. You see, I have an intelligence unit running. Real Talk Security Limited is registered. And I get information and I ask myself, if we have police stations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, how come we have drug blocks running? And we have 1.35 or 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have kingpins living. People saying they are untouchable. Nobody can't touch me. The Prime Minister can't touch me. The Minister of National can't touch me. The Police Service can't touch me. 1.4 million people. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, what I found is strange with this commissioner of police is the first time I'm going to call for his resignation, right? I have no problem with the person who threw the water on Mr. Hines on the beat-up. I have no problem with charging he. I have no problem with the gentleman in point who threatened the Prime Minister, right? But I have a problem with Julia Davy cussing down the opposition leader on the whole of social media and nobody had charged she. I have a problem with this lady walking up to the police and she's more higher than the police, right? I have a problem with this man pulling off the police cap without a medical and calling he bipolar and the commissioner not doing nothing about it. Is it that different strokes for different folks? Mr. Gary is a big failure and he needs to go now. He cannot be taking sides as convenient to whosoever have him there like he's singing for his supper. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You see, this is the only program, and like I just tell people, I ain't afraid. If I stand up for the right thing must prevail. It must prevail. Hence the reason why I pushed for the legislations last year, 2019, and we got it passed. But we need officers to enforce it. To enforce it, that's what we need. How do you get a better country? By enforcing laws. So I ask myself, if we have all these police stations and all these units, how come we still have problems? How come? As I started to talk about rape and sexual offense and TDPS launched a rape unit. Boom, just like that. Once you have a proper leader, you will have production. And I just tell people, be careful when you're coming around me. Because I am not just a normal madman, you know. And I will always say this on my show. Before individual that went after my son, they thought I was an imam. I was religious. So we go try to kidnap the imam's son and we go extort a little money from him. And you know, that go frighten him and he go back down. He wouldn't go on TV and he wouldn't hit hard. But what I didn't know is that I am not an imam. I just do spiritual work. They didn't know that. You see, they did all the investigations and the following up of when my son going to school and the time he going home and the friends he keep. They did their paperwork concerning him, but they didn't do the paperwork concerning the father. That's what they didn't do. They didn't realize the father just do spiritual work. They didn't know that. And the outcome of them is that watch me, they can't even see if this paper white or black in front of them. And I will do it again if I have to. So if you want to come wrong, this TV host for standing up for the right thing and laying out the right questions and the right answers, you feel free. Just keep in mind, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he spoke to one individual, take your wife and your 2 daughters and head for the mountain. He listened, took his wife, 2 daughters, and they head for the mountain. Tell your wife, do not look back, otherwise she will turn into a pillar of salt. And what happened? According to the stories, she turned back and she remained right there. So viewers, that's just a little something for you to think about. I know you're going to have people quite up on top the board, go hate me, but nevertheless, I do business. You see, a good friend told me, if you are part of the problem, you cannot be part of the solution. If you are a part of the problem, you cannot be part of the solution. Caller, good night.
Yeah, Mr. Ali, good afternoon to you. What I'm trying to figure out here, when that police officer was on that stress, that fella put the cat off the head, the cap. What the guy was doing just that he didn't secure in my benefits there, the officer himself. Nobody was a wrong man. I believe Garvey Griffith is part of that problem right there. He caused all of that. He was responsible for what happened there. Garvey Griffith was responsible because they never went to help the officer get off what was going on there with. He was kind of dodging out and moving away for notice Garvey Griffith. He was hiding away. And all these people, black matters. These people, every part of the world they go, they move on the front kind of way, you know. They live like that. That's how they live. And how they behave any part of the world they go. So Trinidad is the same way. The behavior patterns like that, any part of the world they go. That is natural karma.
Thank you, caller. I have nothing against the protest. Nothing. Stand up for your rights. But from the time you start assaulting, it is a different case. You started to do the same thing we was doing in the US. Very same thing. Caller, good night. Hello?
Hello, yeah, good night. How are you?
Go right ahead.
All right. Tell me something. As far as you know, beaches and rivers are still closed or they open?
The
beaches and rivers?
No. Beaches and rivers closed still.
Yeah, but what is happening? I don't know, like, Gary Griffith and the authorities.
Hopefully, I think is by month end it should be open. The bars, the beaches, and the river. Hopefully by this month end.
Yeah, but what is happening in the meantime? People every weekend on public holidays, cause of people going up on repo and bathing.
I understand what you're saying.
Nobody is doing anything about it.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you, sir. So, viewers, we have a few minutes left on the program. Probably about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Somewhere around there. 5 minutes. Nice. So, viewers, back to the Real Talk Drive. Now, like I said, tomorrow's a holiday. We don't have any live show tomorrow. You know, I just take it down tonight. I just brought some pointers to you also. You would understand. You would educate yourself. You know, Real Talk as a show does educate the people. We just don't come and say and blah, 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 blah. No, we're not on that. I know them kind of thing. I here to teach all you. Yeah, I just teach. Lawyers, doctors, magistrates, this is Saieed. Continue doing what you're doing. Oh, by the way, plenty of them say, Saieed, who funding you? I say, when you go to prayer tonight, when you go and you're praying, say a prayer for Saieed. That the work he's doing, he going to continue getting money. Yeah. Don't ask where the fund coming from. Say a prayer for me so I could continue keeping Real Talk on the air without asking anybody for a cent. And what we doing? We have a drive going on. Rape Christ Center Drive. Contribute $1,500. From Friday, I'm going to lay out some different make a contribution. It will benefit the sons. It will benefit the daughters. It will benefit the sisters. It will benefit the mother. It will benefit the auntie. It will benefit the grandmother. So viewers, like I said, that center will be one of a kind in Trinidad and Tobago, the only in the Caribbean. Says for you the people, it's not a political thing. It ain't nothing like, oh, this party funding it and that party funding it. No. If you want to make a contribution, it's not a problem. So just Monday we started it. I unfolded to you Monday, Tuesday, today is Wednesday night. There are people contributing. So feel free, make a contribution of $1,500. You could end up with a car. Like I said, it's not gambling, it's not a raffle. I am a Muslim and I am not going down the gambling road. Your contribution could cause you to get a gift. That gift is valued over $150,000. So there's no part of that is gambling. So an imam or a religious leader can't say, Saieed, you're gambling. No. You're making a contribution. Look at that beautiful car. It's just one of many. It's just one of many. So I'm asking for your help. It's 10 million we have to raise to build the structure. The land is there, as you all could see. I showed you the deed for the property. It's there. We just need to raise $10 million. And I will raise it right here on Real Talk with the help of you all, local and regional. So whether you are the Prime Minister, you are a minister, you're an NGO, you're a businessman, feel free to contribute. Because you never know if your friend or your family could end up in it. You never know. So is a cause, is a drive, is one of a kind structure in Trinidad and Tobago. Feel free to give something. Feel free to give. So like I said, the money not coming in my pocket. It's not going in my pocket. I spent, for the last 2 years and some months being on air, over $2.3 million. And me ask all you for nothing. Because at the end of a year, at the end of 12 months, it's somewhere around 1.2, 1.3, somewhere around there. But I just thank God. God is my strength. God is my provider. He does wake me up every morning healthy to go to work. You know, so those of you who believe in planting seed, make a contribution. Those of you who want to give a gift, you could call it a love gift, you could call it a donation. Feel free to contribute. So from next week, so from Friday, now Fire Friday, I will lay out some different prizes that will be given out. So everybody could get something. Make a contribution, you could be a winner. Like I said, it's not a gamble, it's not a raffle. It's you contribute to us and we give back to you. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, be safe. Tomorrow's our holiday. You'll cook with the family time. That is good. We will meet again on Fire Friday. Be safe. Enjoy the night. Until then, good night.